It's on? Oh, it's on. It's a walk-off. Did anybody hear that? I heard slam. Ow! I also hear people throwing up in the alley. Manhattan. Thank you for joining me on this fine 80-degree weather October. It's been a good 2 years since I've opened the vault in my head to speak directly to this band that I find so reprehensible. Not about the music they put out to the world. It's the attitude that goes along with it. It's an attitude that propagates a very nasty sort of way to live, I think, in my personal opinion. It's an attitude of, I don't care what you think, but I will tell you over and over again how much I think you don't think I care about what you think I'm thinking about and you and caring about me. I've stayed away from the smack talking. I never try to just call people names and insult them for no reason. I'm a very firm believer in you are allowed your own opinion, but you also should perhaps back up those claims. If you think I'm a jerk, you can think I'm a jerk, but you have a bit more validity if you tell me why I'm a jerk. I was browsing one of the anti-blood on the dance floor websites that exist on Facebook, and I do this every so often at night or if it's a slow day at work. I sit there and I read. Sometimes I facepalm at what the fans of the band come and say. Sometimes I facepalm at what the fans of the page say. I'm very much a facepalmer in general. At both sides of any issue, there's things to facepalm at. I happened upon this photo that somebody posted. It's a screenshot of this little gentleman named Callum who posted my video with apologies to Blood on the Dance Floor fans, which I made 2 years ago. He posted this on Blood on the Dance Floor's actual Facebook fan page, and so lovingly added along with it, "This bitch can go die X capital D," which is an absolute staple and a flagpole sitta of how plurtastic these fans can be. And then everybody coming in saying, well, Blood on the Dance Floor is bad. People saying STFU, BOTDF is amazing. I hate acronyms. Everybody's mad, arguing. Nothing new here on the internet. Then, interestingly enough, Blood on the Dance Floor posts. And in my mind, it's Davi vanity posting, because I have no problem with Mr. J. Von Monroe. I have never had a problem with him. I have a problem with Davi, and I'm going to tell you why. Mr. Vanity goes ahead and posts, "Yes, we all know she is a crying, starved attention bitch. But let's ignore her, even though we all know about... She is doing this for pure attention," which is the incorrect modifier to use there, "and to upset people. Who gives an F-U-C-K what she thinks? Rise above hate." Now, I did not see this post. I don't subscribe to Blood on the Dance Floor's fan page. I would have had no way of knowing this unless somebody posted this picture. I'm obviously not there to defend myself. So let's analyze. Mr. Vanity says to rise above hate while calling me a starved attention bitch. Is that not hate? Or is this a new form of non-hate? Is a bitch an endearing term? I don't know. He wants everybody to ignore me, correct? You can ignore me. That's fine. I don't mind. But I can keep talking if I so choose, because that's my right to do that. He makes a judgment at me saying that I'm doing this for pure attention, and to upset people. Now, he may have a bit of a point there. In that video that I made, the one with the apology that I never made for my own opinion, yes, I pretty much did that to crank the shaft of some of these fans because I just thought they were being ridiculous with all the backlash I got. So yes, I wanted to drive that point home just a tad, but making a point at the same time. What are we arguing over the internet about a band? I mean, come on. So, he judges, he hates, and completely contradicts himself in 4 sentences. 1, 2, 3, 4. To rise above hate, to ignore me, but know all about me. Clearly, he is not ignoring me. That's how I see it, based on his response. Like I said, I was not there to defend myself, and if I had never known about it, who cares? I don't care. People are gonna talk regardless. But I saw this, so I decided to make my one and only post on Blood on the Dance Floor's actual fan page, and this is what I responded with this photo attached. Hello, Davi. Remember me? This is the first and only time I will ever post on your page. Do you remember posting this about me? Do you remember preaching plur, peace, love, unity, respect? Do you remember preaching plur at your fan base, but then call me a, quote, crying, starved, attention bitch, which isn't even grammatically correct? If I may correct him there, he should have called me a crying, attention-starved bitch, right? Or maybe an attention-starved crying bitch, or an attention bitch crying starved, and saying I make my rants for attention only. That was kind of snooty, I know. Who is the 28-year-old man decorated from head to toe in glitter, fake hair, and tattoos? Is that not for attention too, or are you just expressing yourself? Hey, he just told me that I'm doing this for attention. That's a judgment, so I'm gonna make a judgment about him. What I'm observing from the world of the internet and what I can see with my own eyes. Every picture of you, you're looking at yourself in the camera window, and I should have said camera viewer. I couldn't remember what it was called. If you can call me a bitch, then I can call you a narcissist, which I did. I don't make my rants to get attention, Mr. Vanity. I make them to call attention to your high amount of hypocrisy and contradictory nature. I make my videos hoping one of your mindless drone followers will have a dissenting opinion penetrate their thick skulls. And until you address me like a mature grown-up, instead of leaving passive-aggressive comments and tweeting my video out to your followers, which he has, and I unfortunately have no evidence to back that up except for my memory, I saw he tweeted my video out to his followers. I saw that. You get no respect from me. So, no plur. It's just plur at this point, no plur. I will continue talking about the horrible influence you have on your fan base. I just thank heavens, I made sure to put this, I just thank heavens there are some BOTDF fans who know what an opinion is, and that not everybody has to have a matching one. Good day to you. And then I put in before delete or IDGAF. I had to make that point because I see more and more fans of this band coming to me respectfully, saying they disagree with my opinion, but I'm allowed to have it. They're just not going to agree with it. It's like, thank you. I appreciate your mind. Good for you. That's what I would love to see more of. You know, I'm not telling these people to just stop listening to the band altogether. You know, it's okay for somebody to say they don't like it and to give reasons why they don't like it. And it's also okay for people to say, well, that's not how I do. You know what I mean? I assumed that this post was going to get deleted relatively quickly. I was only half right. After a bunch of people liked my comment, Blood on the Dance Floor commented back. And they said one stupid little sentence. LOL, heart. Glad I matter so much to you. That was their rebuttal. I made points. Granted, I may have been snotty in my points, but I think what I brought up was valid. I did not call names. I said he was a narcissist. That's not really insulting. You know, narcissistic personality disorder is just that, a disorder. I wasn't using it to be insulting. I was trying to throw a little bit of logic back on him. My logic, not logic in general. My logic that I think I have. But I didn't say F off. I did not call him a pedophile. He's not a pedophile. I did not call him that. I did not say you're the worst thing in the entire world. I was being, for the most part, respectfully disagreeing, I think. Tell me if you think differently. But for him to comment back, glad I matter so much to you. That to me just, I'm not sure. It just kind of, speaks on your narcissism, Dobby. Speaks directly on it. The whole comment that I talked about, which was negative aspects I see, all he could draw from that was, well, somebody's talking about me. That's a true sign of somebody who's a narcissist at heart. When I screenshotted this, I am dumb, so I did not press see more. I began to say, you're joking, right, Dobby? You couldn't come up with a proper rebuttal, could you? Instead, you respond like a child. It's unreal how immature you are. I made some legitimate I remember what I said. I made some legitimate points about your hypocrisy, and you chose to ignore it. You really want everyone to think you don't care what is said about you. In the words of the late, great George Carlin, people who say they don't care what people think are usually desperate to have people think they don't care what people think. Let that sink in, because it's true. Talk to me adult to adult instead of continuing the series of shite slinging. Until then, keep whining about me, Davi. Because that's exactly what he's doing. He's choosing not to rebut. He just wants to say, I don't care what you think, when he clearly does. And promptly, on my command, or on cue, if you will, this post was deleted and I was blocked from their fan page, which was a really big disappointment. So because I was in a very deep NyQuil haze, and I decided to do what I did when I made the apology video, to do a little screw in, I went on Twitter. I said, hey, BOTDF music, people my, and in parentheses, our age, may have respect for you if you took criticism like adults instead of deleting things you don't like. And with that, I was blocked from their Twitter account. I tell you this little tale of, oh my God, because I think this shows a very specific part of their hypocrisy that I've been trying to talk about. I'm not going to talk about their new music and how they've changed. I'm not going to talk about that. If they have changed, if they're trying to preach how lovey everybody should be and not spread hate and rise above hate, all this stuff, why call me a bitch? Why make a judgment about me that I'm doing this for attention? Why get on Twitter and make fun of a band because they said they didn't like you? Of course, everybody is allowed an opinion. But why stifle those that don't agree with yours? Some people will say, well, maybe it's good for them to get rid of all the hate comments because they're trying to rise above it, but not before throwing a little tantrum before they delete it. If it honestly did not bother them, why reply to it? Why not just delete it as is? Why make it known? Oh, I know why. Because haters make you famous. I forgot. I totally forgot. Unbelievable. So if the haters make you famous, why delete the hate comments? Wouldn't the fan base come to my post if it had stayed up there? Wouldn't the fan base, most of the fan base, wouldn't most of the fan base come to the post and defend BOTDF? Therefore, in Dobby's narcissistic mind, wouldn't he get an ego stroke then? That's how I see it. That's how I see this rolling down the river. You say to ignore the hate when you clearly do not. You do not practice what you preach. You want people to rise above hate, yet you are free to fling it out all you can. I have a question. How come the people that dislike the band are the only haters? Why is that? Why isn't what Mr. Vanity does call people names as well, tell people how crappy they are for not liking his music? Why is he not considered a hater as well? How come he has a veil of non-haterdom around him? If he can throw out all these insults, why can insults not come back to him? Why does it seem that he can dish it out, but he can't take it? I don't know. Maybe I'll never know. Is it absolutely pointless and fruitless for me to do this? Yes, it absolutely is. But I think we can have a few laughs along the way. So this is why I make my videos. I would never get on here and try to change anybody's mind, because at the end of the day, the browser is going to be closed. The computer is going to be shut down. People are going to go to bed, and they're going to get up the next day and listen to whatever they want. And I'll do the same. I will listen to whatever band I so choose, not letting anybody's comments about my favorite band affect how I feel about it. Is that not enough to just be enjoying and knowing that there's people that don't agree with you? Is that so hard to believe? Is that so hard to get through the day, to understand that not everybody has the same mind as you? If Mr. Vanity had replied to me as a mature adult, had a discussion with me, none of this would be happening. I wouldn't be having to make these videos asking these questions that will never get answered. But he doesn't. He's older than me by 2 years and continues to act like a rebellious teenager. And for that, I pity him. Sorry. I made this video long because there was a lot to say, considering I've been getting comment after comment on my videos since the 2 years I've uploaded them. And I'm afraid they'll never stop until the internet explodes. I just thought it was interesting to point this out, because in many of the fans' eyes, Davi can do no wrong. And I say, yes, he can. And I do want to emphasize one last time before I go grab a glass of water. Not all fans are alike. There are many, many Blood on the Dance Floor fans that do actually have an open mind, that can accept that somebody doesn't like their favorite band. And I promise you, I will point that out as much as I can. You'll notice that I didn't swear in this rant. Try to keep it PG. I said the B word. But that was contextual, so don't worry about it. I don't want to talk about BOTDF anymore. I just hope that some people look at this video with an open mind and don't dismiss it as, oh, hater. Because you can't dismiss everybody as a hater. If somebody doesn't like what you like, they're not automatically a hater. So stop with this. Hater doesn't even exist. That's why I put hater in quotations. Because it's stupid. It's Onision words. We uses them legitimately, you know what I mean. So, fuck. Good night, bitches.